Get an idea of what we should be expecting from the market today. Stan Shamu from IG joins us from Melbourne. Stan, let's start on the currencies front because it's certainly an interesting picture. We have the pound battered on the back of that news of UK debt downgrade. We're also watching the yen. We've got talk about a new Bank of Japan governor. What in particular are you watching in terms of the currency space this morning?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We are expecting quite a bit of volatility in Asia today. Of course, there's a lot of developments on the global scale over the weekend, particularly with the BoJ governor talks progressing. We also had obviously that Moody's downgrade for the UK, and at the same time we've got Italian elections going on. So this really does put currencies on the forefront of the moves today. With the yen, we've seen it jump up to around 94.74 against that's against the US dollar this morning. Massive gap higher. Now that will obviously attract a lot of selling, just mainly from the technical perspective, where analysts look to sell these gaps and wait for them to be filled before getting back in long. Of course, now what's driving sentiment on the Japan front is the fact that there is talk that Prime Minister Abe is summoned Kuroda, and he's looking at him as the successor for current Governor Shirakawa. As a result, this has really seen a fairly market-friendly outcome for the yen. A lot of analysts out there were thinking that he's probably the most likely candidate to be able to implement Abe's policies and, of course, drive them towards that 2% inflation target. So that will be the main story to sort of monitor throughout Asia today. At the same time, we've had the pound drop to around 1.5 against the US dollar. We had already seen it drop post-market US trade on Saturday morning as that news crossed the wires that Moody's had downgraded UK debt to AA1 from that AAA rating. Of course, they still have a stable outlook. They're still confident in the ability of the UK's economy to drive revenue, and of course the diverse earnings base that the UK has and confidence it generally has across the globe will probably leave it as one of the stronger nations out there. It might not have too much of an influence on the gilts, but of course on the pound, we certainly feel that 1.5 level will be fragile and will be tested in Asia today. We could easily see that broken and see that the pound trade below 1.5 after a while now. So yeah, no, that's definitely another issue to look out for. Of course, we have seen some mixed moves in the FX space. The euro has actually opened a bit higher, but we feel it will likely warrant some caution, particularly with Italian elections heading into day 2 today, and a result expected in the afternoon part of European trade later today. At the moment, it certainly seems like Berlusconi, who's obviously the former Italian PM, has really gained a bit of traction, and he's probably the most unfriendly outcome for the market at the moment. No one would really want to see him come back in. He's already talked about reducing taxes and austerity, so that might be very unfriendly for some of the market participants out there. So as a result, yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of risk issues to look out for in Asia today, particularly starting with Japan.
Okay, so how is all of that going to play out on equity markets? I know we have a pretty good lead coming from Europe and the United States, and SPYs are pointing in positive territory at the moment. But we had a nice session on Friday, and also more than 2% worth of gains last week. So could we not see a bit of a reversal amid all this global risk that's on the table?
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, we are calling the market up about 0.2% to 5027. So it would be a fairly positive start to the week. But considering some of the mixed leads we've gotten from different areas of the globe and how they fed through to the risk currencies this morning, this will make a very confusing session for the local market. At the same time, we've got China's PMI, the HSBC manufacturing PMI figure coming out around 1245 today. It's expected to come in around 52.2. Now, last month, it came in at a 2-year high, and of course, investors will want to see it hang around those levels, or at least improve on those levels. So, should we see a miss on that end, that will cast further volatility into the markets and a bit more skepticism to start off the week. This will also have a pretty strong bearing on the Aussie dollar, which is just hanging around that 103 level, just testing that support. We also have, of course, continuing earnings. We've got Caltex that's come out earlier today. they seem like they're slightly behind consensus. Their net profit after tax looks like it was at the lower end of their own guidance, but a lot of brokers were slightly higher than where they came in. Their dividend of 23 cents missed. I think analysts were expecting about 30 cents with a strong drive from the marketing and improved refiner margins as well. So I'll have to have a look at the commentary after the cross, of course, but at the moment it seems like it's at the lower end of guidance. It might have slightly disappointed. We also have a lot of broker changes, of course, following the recent results. That will be interesting going into the week, particularly with the likes of Billabong, which has a takeover bid at that $1.10 a share, and it's still trading at a significant discount. There's already talk that we might see the current bidders come back to the drawing board and possibly try and force a lower figure on the takeover bid. So that will be another interesting stock to watch heading into the week.
Yes, Dan, thanks so much for taking us across it all. Time now to take a look at some of the broker moves around today. We'll start